Hi, I'm Kate with SanDiegoDealsandStills.com, and I am here to talk about my Whole Foods on a Budget challenge. We actually just completed that today, and we had a great success. We worked with Whole Foods Encinitas, and basically our challenge was to spend, for our family of 5, we had an average of $30 per person per week to spend on groceries, or up to $600 a month. And we were able to do that on a little bit less. Actually, we spent about $525, and we actually had some things actually left over. These are just a few of the things that we had left over at the end of our 4 weeks. And basically we had to start with empty cupboards. We were able to use spices, and we also used like a couple lemons just for added flavor from our neighbor's tree. Everything else came out of our Whole Foods budget. My husband took his lunch to work. My daughter took her lunch to school. We also, if we were to go out for the day, if we went to a street fair or if we went to an amusement park, we packed our food to go with us. We were able to eat out once per week, either a date night or out as a family. And other than that, everything else came out of our Whole Foods budget. So the amount that we came up with was $600, and the reason we came up with that is based on some polls that we did, and we found that that was significantly lower than those polled. And also, according to the research that we did, it was actually a little bit lower than what is allowed by the 2012 standards for the SNAP program, or government assistance for your groceries. So we were able to actually live under that and shopping at Whole Foods. And I just wanted to share with you how we did that and how we did it fairly successfully. It's important to us to eat, we don't eat everything organic, but we do try to eat as many organics as we can. We try to eat as little processed food as possible, and this is how we did that. Now, Whole Foods Market Encinitas has a lot of really, really great things on their website. I would imagine this is true at any Whole Foods around the country. So I would suggest first to find the Whole Foods that's closest to you, and first check out their website, because they're going to have a lot of their deals are going to be posted for that week, and also events that are going on. And the first thing that I suggest you check out is their value tour. Now, they just had a value tour at the Encinitas Whole Foods. I think they have that a couple times a year. Call and see when the next one is scheduled at your store. They're going to basically take you around the store and share with you some of the hidden value that's there. It's not really hidden, it's available to you, but a lot of people don't know about it, and I think a lot of people write off Whole Foods as something that they can't afford, and I do think that you are going to be able to afford it. Now, again, we started with completely empty cupboards, and we had $600 a month. Each week I shopped once a week, and each week the amount that I spent went down. The last week I spent about $115, and I am fairly confident that if I was to continue on shopping at Whole Foods, I could purchase our items between $100 and $125 a month very, very comfortably. It's just not nearly as expensive as you might think it is. We did cook a lot from scratch, but with 3 kids, it's not really, we're not really able to cook everything from scratch every day, and so we did actually have some convenience items as well. So I'm just going to run through some of the things that we did to save money. I'm basically going to kind of give you the value tour right here online. So one of the first things, my husband wants to have a meat dish almost every night. Now, with Whole Foods, we were actually able to do that. We had, over the month, we had grass-fed beef, we had a lot of chicken, and we even had fish one night. Now, one thing that's really good to know is that while Whole Foods might not be the least expensive place you can go to for meat, it's all ethically farmed. A lot of it is organic, and that there is going to be an added cost to that. But you're also going to see that there is a butcher's discount when you purchase 3 or more pounds. For example, the meat that I bought last week was chicken breast. And if you spent if you bought 3 or more pounds of the chicken breast, which is not an insane amount of meat for a family, you got, for those chicken breasts, it was $3 off a pound. So it went from $7.99 a pound, which is a little high in my opinion. Well, not necessarily high, but higher than a typical grocery store. It went down to $4.99 a pound, and that's pretty reasonable. And we were able to use that as more or less a main dish the first night, and then in a salad one night, and then in burritos another night. So we were able to stretch our meat by combining it with beans or combining it in a salad. We also had grass-fed beef. We also made fish tacos for my daughter's birthday. We did learn quite a few really great vegetarian recipes. We used a lot of beans just in a lot of recipes, so we continued to have the nutrition that we needed, the protein that we needed. But we were able to do all of those things, and my point is we didn't like scrimp and save the whole way. Now, in the produce section, there's also a value section. I'm sure it's in different places in every store. At our store, we were able to get organic apples in a 5-pound bag that worked out to 99 cents a pound. There's also a 5-pound bag of carrots. We've almost used that all up. I don't know if you can even see it from the video, but we would get the 5-pound bag of carrots and 5-pound bag of apples every week that we went. There's also organic potatoes, there's red bell peppers, onions, a lot of things that you might use in a lot of different recipes. Now, the produce section is maybe more expensive than a typical produce section, but you have to compare it to the organic section within the produce section at another store, because almost everything in Whole Foods is going to be organic. Almost everything in their produce section is going to be organic and environmentally friendly, GMO free. It's also all farmed, a lot of it locally, and all by farmers that are earning a wage that they can actually live on, which is really important to us. And so if you compare it to organic sections in other stores, it's actually very comparable, and sometimes actually even lower, believe it or not. We did the same thing that we do with any store that we go to. We of course went directly to the value section, and then I went around and checked out the things that were on sale. I would check it out either online before, or I would find it once I was there, and then I would menu plan around those items that were in season and were the weekly sale that week. Another way that you're able to save at Whole Foods is by using their case discount. A case discount is basically if you're willing to buy the case, you're able to get 10% off every item within that case. Now, that's at Whole Foods across the nation. At Whole Foods Encinitas right now through July 2012, you're actually able to get 20% off on that case discount. Now again, the first week that we were shopping, I was not able to take advantage of that, but by the last week, we spent the least amount, and I actually was able to buy these puffs with the case discount. I got 20% off, and a case was only 8 of them. Now, my daughter will only eat maybe 1 of these in a week's time, so I was able to get about 2 months worth of these puffs. So these are normally $3.49 at Whole Foods Encinitas. Then they took 70 cents off each one, so that's a pretty good deal. In addition to the case discount on these in particular, I also used a coupon. I had buy one, get one free coupons from Recycle Bank that were, and I had one for each of those items. So I actually got 8 for the price of 4, and the ones that I actually paid for, I got 20% off. And so that was significantly cheaper than I'm going to find at any other store. So if that's something, if you buy anything like, you know, crackers or yogurt or cereal, anything that you buy and typically use a lot of, and something that you could use the case worth in a month or before it would expire, make sure to take advantage of that, and also check out and see what kind of coupons you can find, because you really can save a lot of money using coupons. And I've noticed a trend in gluten-free coupons and organic item coupons. They're becoming more and more available, and And that's a really, really great way, really to save at any grocery store, but specifically at Whole Foods, specifically if you're trying to save money and still eat healthfully. We also used a lot of their 365 brand, which is their Whole Foods Market brand, just their store brand. There are coupons available for those. We've never been national brand snobs. We've always used store brands when they were less expensive, and we found that they were all very good and significantly cheaper than the national brand, so keep that in mind. Also, there is this flyer. It's called The Whole Deal, and they have that at any Whole Foods store. And in here, there are recipes, and a lot of those recipes are things that are on sale and in season, and it breaks down the price per serving and also the nutritional content of that. If you were to purchase all of those items at Whole Foods, and they're all, you know, some of the things in here are less than $2 a serving, we were able to make a lot of things for even less than that. But those are really great. Also, there are tons of coupons for national brand items as well as 365 brand items, and those are going to save you a good amount of money. Also, I mentioned Recycle Bank. RecycleBank.com is going to have a lot of coupons for items that you can purchase at Whole Foods. So make sure when you go to Whole Foods, pick up one of these. Another area that we save money is we shopped in the dry bulk bin. We bought organic brown rice. We bought organic beans in the bulk bin. We also bought our oatmeal. The oatmeal, I think, was like $1.50 a pound, if that. It's organic, and that fed all of us for a week for breakfast, and then we had a little bit left over. We also bought our flour. I believe we bought the flour in the bulk bin, and we were able to cook a lot of things from scratch, and we were able to save a lot of money using their bulk items, so that's a really, really great place to check out too. We did a lot of cooking from scratch. We did buy a couple convenience items, but one of the ways that we stretched our budget so that we could have that grass-fed beef, so that we could have fish, and so that we could have a huge array of veggies is we did a lot of cooking from scratch. I made all of our daughter's baby food from scratch in the crock pot, which I have a recipe for that online. You know, a little container of baby food is going to cost, no matter where you go, it's going to cost close to $1 each. You might be able to get it on sale cheaper than that. You might be able to get a coupon. But I was able to make a crock pot full of baby food, organic baby food, for maybe $5. And that would be a week's worth or more. It was really more of food for her for, I mean, somewhere between $3 and $5. And if I'm able to grab something that's on sale, it's going to be even cheaper than that. So cooking from scratch was a great way for us to save money. Again, we made baby food, we made homemade tortillas this month, we made homemade pizza, we made homemade muffins and pancakes, we made homemade salsa and scones. All of these recipes are on our website, which is SanDiegoDealsandSteals.com. They aren't necessarily recipes that we made up, some are, but some will show that they're referenced, that they came from somewhere else, and but that was a great way for us to extend our budget. Also, when you go to Whole Foods, a couple other ways just to stretch a little bit is to bring your own bags. When you bring your own reusable bags, they will give you a 10-cent credit for every bag that you use. So if you're only shopping once a week like I was, I would use anywhere between 5 and 7 bags. So that's not, you know, a ton of money, but it was enough for me to remember to bring my bags out of my car. But again, I think that shopping at Whole Foods is not nearly as expensive as I originally thought it was, and it's a great way to feed your family healthy. And again, if you are willing to just use the sales, use those coupons, and check out their value section, you are going to be able to spend a lot less than I think a lot of people think Whole Foods will cost, and you're also maybe even going to be able to spend less than you would at another grocery store or even a big box store. So again, you can check out more recipes on SanDiegoDealsandSteals.com. And also there are links to the coupons that I was telling you that I got from Recycle Bank, and also to Whole Foods Encinitas, who sponsored this project. And we'll see you next time.